Howdy there folks, back for another video. Thank you so much for joining me. Not going to be a very long one today, that's what she said. We're just going to have a look at the very few things that I purchased this month because, as I've said in previous videos, I'm trying to wind back my spending a little bit. And maybe it's just that I bought some more expensive things instead of some cheaper things. Anyway, we'll look at that. I'm JR. This is Digital Retribution. Okie dokie then. I'm just hoping that the I can't see my microphone. Oh, yep, it's all good. It's all good. Welcome back. Very, very small haul this month, as I have claimed, and as I just said, I am winding back the amount of money that I'm spending. As you can see, there's a whole pile of books behind me. Like there's novels up the top here, and then all of this stuff. I've barely read any of this, and I've just realized that I've got crazy hair today. So this is the official crazy hair video too. Yeah, so I'm trying to catch up on my reading, which means that there'll probably be a few more book reviews and stuff like that. And I'm also writing that big part 20 thing, that's the 20-part thing that's going to be coming. But that doesn't mean that I still didn't pick up a few things here and there. Now, one of the things that I did do this month is I made one massive purchase, and that massive purchase was a 3D printer. I do a little bit of modeling. Not catwalk, more like sort of miniature painting and stuff like that. You can see behind me here, this is a Betty Page undressing as the creature from the Black Lagoon. So I do this sort of stuff now and again, and I decided instead of paying for somebody else some other joker to do my stuff, to print it, I'll just print it myself. So I have bought an FDM printer, which at the moment I'm just doing bases and a couple of things that I have done that were a little bit of fun. And I'll show them to you because they are relevant to movies and stuff like that. So, and horror. So one of them is whenever I am watching a movie or whatever, I always sort of show on Instagram what it is that I'm watching. And I generally just have like the cover with the TV screen in the background. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice if I had something like a stand rather than sort of leaning it up against shit and all the rest of it. So what I did was I found this. Unfortunately, it did have a little bit of I don't know what you call it, a little bit of problems with the print there. Just a little tiny bit where the print didn't quite work. But now that, so this sort of my Blu-rays will sit in that, and so I can use that as a as a thing, so that when I take those photos, I've got a now playing thing. I think it's pretty cool. It took about 2 hours to print. It was in 2 pieces. This, I could have printed it in 2 different colors because I've got a printer that has multiple color of the filament. But I decided just to do it all in black so I could do it in one go. And this, I just sort of gave it a quick spray of white because nothing contrasts better than black and white. So I thought that they were a pretty cool thing. But eventually, I'm going to go to printing this sort of stuff. I've been looking at a guy called Zez and another dude who's doing like 3D prints of like superheroes and movie characters and video game characters. I found a Lion-O from Thundercats, which might accidentally end up in my house. But yeah, I like to use airbrush and stuff like that. So the other thing I printed is, as a reminder to whenever I come into this room to remember to write, is I printed myself a little bust of H.P. Lovecraft. As you can see, because it's FDM, it's got some printing lines in it. But I thought it was a cool little statue. It weighs fuck all, and it just sort of sits above my desk here, next to a statue of Stan Lee, which I've temporarily moved over here somewhere, just to remind me to write. Because sometimes I'll come in here and I've got a PlayStation set up here and I might just get distracted. Distraction is what I do best. I'm very, very easily distracted. You'll have to excuse me, I need a drink, and so I'm just going to pop a can and have a quick mouthful of my delicious alcoholic beverage. Okay, so what did I actually purchase this month other than that printer? Well, just because I did that didn't mean that there wasn't still stuff out that I desperately wanted. One of those things was I found a copy of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on vinyl. I was told about this by my good friend Simon from Explosive Action that JB Hi-Fi had some. When I went to Sydney last, they didn't have any, and I just so happened to go to a JB Hi-Fi near me up here in the country, and sure enough, they had it. I really, really liked the vinyl, and I liked the iconography on it. I mean, this is pretty cool. Record handler's going to be horrified by this, but like, nice blood splatter with a bit of a TCM eye in the middle of it. As usual, this is a Waxwork. Waxwork have excelled themselves in making a quality product. TCM doesn't have a great soundtrack. It's not like a big booming sort of a thing. It's like soundscapes and stuff like that. But yeah, I just having this in my collection. I've got a couple of other TCM soundtracks. I've got the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 soundtrack that came out like in the 80s. I've got, pretty sure it's a Waxwork one. It might be a Death Waltz, I can't remember, of TCM 2. And I also have the movie that was on Netflix, which has sort of various quality, right? So I thought that was a pretty cool pickup. I was pretty happy to get that. Now, next I got a couple of books, and I'm continuing with my buying tie-in novels again. And I found a copy of, believe it or not, The Barn. This is by Brian G. Berry, who I've discovered actually has an absolute fucking shedload of horror novels to his name. So after I read this, I'll probably start looking at that. I've got this sort of thing now where a lot of the movie tie-in ones I'm probably going to keep because I have a special place in my heart for them. But some of the other stuff, after I've read them, I'm going to send them on to like my former co-host of the Nerds of Oz, Shane, and a couple of other people so they can enjoy them, like Cows by Matthew Stokoe, and what was it called, Restless Dreams by Victoria Redfield. I have passed those on to Shane already, and he will then on-pass them to other people. So yeah, The Barn's based on the film that came out, oh god, it might even be 10 years ago now, possibly not that long. But I've got this on DVD, and I must admit it's been ages since I watched it. I remember not minding it, and I remember not minding it enough to be happy enough to buy a movie tie-in. So that was one of the books that I bought this month. This next one is by Jeff Rovin, and this was something I found this to be quite funny because the movie that it's based on is based on stories by H.P. Lovecraft, good old Howard. So it's based on stories by H.P. Lovecraft that was made into a movie that has 2 sequels, and unfortunately a sequel that we've never seen get produced, but I wish that they would. And that's Reanimator. I love this movie. It's my favorite movie of all time. It's not just my favorite horror movie, it's my favorite movie. I absolutely love this. It says on the back it's an intense book of macabre humor. That is what the film is. And, you know, there's Beyond Reanimator, where they try to bring back one of the characters from the first film, and then, Brighter Reanimator, and then there's Beyond Reanimator, where they find Herbert West in a jail somewhere. There was talk ages ago, I remember reading about it, countless different places, even pre-internet, that they were going to do a thing called President Reanimator, and it was supposed to be something like the president has passed away, and they dig Herbert West out of a jail and force him to bring the president back to life, but Herbert's got different ideas, and using the things that he may have learnt from Dr. Hill, who's seen up here, some of the hypnotism and stuff like that, he sort of controls the president, and the last thing you want is someone like Herbert West controlling your country. God forbid any country would end up with a crazy madman in charge of it. It's probably never happened before. Anyway, so after that, I've only got 2 things left to show you. I bought one Blu-ray and one 4K and then I'm done with you. Then you're done with me. You can go on and lead your lives and wonder why you wasted time watching this bullshit. So the first one is that a film that I really, really love, Zodiac. I love this movie. I think that it's an absolute corker of a film. It's even inspired me to perhaps add some true crime stuff to the Digital Retribution website, which might be a little bit of fun. Maybe I'll just do like an occasional like a tie-in like this and do it on a Tuesday. True Crime Tuesday or Tuesday Crime. I don't know. But yeah, so I love this movie. Great cast. Mark Ruffalo, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Robert Downey Jr. before they wasted their lives in Marvel movies. Yeah, if you haven't seen this, why? It's great. It's got a good supporting like other cast members of that. It's got like Brian Cox is in this, Eli Catillas, Donald Logue's in it, Dermot Mulroney. Like, it's got a really, really good cast in it, and it's a David Fincher film. So, but yeah, this is a must see, I reckon. I really, really like this. I haven't cracked it yet, which is a bit shit. I had a DVD copy that I held on for years, and when this came out a couple of weeks ago, I was like, yep, I need to do that. And finally, from our friends at Umbrella, not that they sent me this, but I'm very happy with Umbrella has introduced me to so many films over the past 25 years. And now that they're re-releasing a whole lot of stuff that they did years ago, like Triangle and Storm Warning and stuff like that, I grabbed this one, The Quiet Family, which is a, I can't remember who directed it. Well, that's terrible, and I can't read it because it's too small. Ji-Woon Kim? But yeah, I'm sure it's Ji-Woon Kim. Of course Kim Ji-Woon, sorry, yeah. It's interesting how it's got his name differently in two different places. Anyway, this was limited to 2000 release. I've got number 729. I remember liking this movie when I saw it on DVD years ago, so having a fancy little upgrade is a fun thing. Moderate violence, moderate sex, infrequent coarse language. What a way to live. But yeah, so The Quiet Family is my other one that I did last month. But yeah, that's about it. I've spent so much time, like I said, with the FDM printing. I can't show you the stuff that I've got that I've printed because it's all sort of unrelated to this. It's like board game shit and all that sort of stuff. Nothing that you'd be interested in. But yeah, so but there'll be more next month because I have a bunch of stuff in the mail right now. So a few bits and pieces that I want to catch up on. Thank you for watching. That was really cool. I'm going to try and work out... Well, one of the things that I haven't done with this channel is I haven't created a schedule of what I should put up. And so I'm starting to think that maybe I need to create myself a schedule and think of stuff to do. If you can think of anything that you'd like me to talk about on this channel, please leave a comment. Or if you follow me on Instagram, which is Digital Retribution Oz, but OZ, not AUS, send me a message there too. I'm more than happy to come up with any sort of ideas, even if it's just looking at other stuff in my collection, looking at my record collection. More than happy to do that sort of stuff. I've got a pretty big soundtrack collection. Yeah, even just looking through what's on the shelf here, because there's a whole pile of different books here. As you can see, there's all sorts of junk on here as well. Please check out the website, www.digitalretribution.com. That is where my reviews go up. They go up fortnightly. I'm going to do a video soon just talking about the things that are happening in the website to give you a little preview of what's happening in the next 6 months, because I'm actually 6 months ahead with my reviews. I try to maintain that. I try to stay a little bit ahead so that if I go through a point where I buy like a 3D printer and I don't feel like reviewing any films, I can do that. I know that I do have a review of The Last of Us TV series coming up very soon. It's funny, my wife isn't really much of a nerd, which I think I've talked about. Actually, she's not a nerd at all, except for politics and money and business. And it just so happens that Fallout and The Last of Us were two TV series that weirdly grabbed her. So, and she's not a Pedro Pascal girly at all. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share the video with your friends. Tell everybody about me. I need more viewers. I need more people. I'm disastrously unpopular, and I have a desperate need to be popular. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, y'all.